guys, Dorothy here. We're here today and we're sort of sharing an intro into the junk journal we're getting ready to begin. And we're going to be doing one based on Paris. And this is using a kit from Junk with Steph, and I'll leave that link in the description box below. So I want to sort of go through some of the basics of what I'm going to use. I know a lot of people, want to have things on hand, and I sort of go by the seat of my pants sometimes, so that's sort of hard to do, but I thought I would go through some of the basics of what I'm going to be using. Just basically the building blocks of what I'm going to be using. So I'll flip through the kit. I did print 2 of the entire set. I like to have extra. I'd rather have extra than not enough. And I did print the backgrounds onto the back. So you can see some yellows. There's some pinky purples, pretty turquoise, of course your standard black, some browns. So lots of colors to play with this kit. Some really pretty vibes. There's some pink, some greens. So I mean, you sort of get a nice rainbow of colors. There's some purple, some pink, some yellows. The text, just these pages alone are just gorgeous. Lots of pretty script. And some background ephemera, really pretty. Lots of butterflies. And of course you wouldn't have Paris if you didn't have doorways. Sort of some silver glitter throughout, so we may have to incorporate some glitter into this one. And I'm not a huge fan of glitter, but I have some large size glitter that would be absolutely gorgeous in a shaker. So we'll probably be doing some shakers. This one, absolutely gorgeous. Look at the brown tones. Again, the pink, the purple, the blue, it just sort of all blends together. You have the gold. This kit just lends to a lot. The black, so I mean you could incorporate some black lace, which we may do, with some different colors, and just sort of add vibe, because there is a sort of a black vibe that goes through everything. I'm sorry, my voice is like not the best this morning, so please bear with me. I just love the coloring of the kit itself because it's just so versatile. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And like I said, I do copy off 2 of the set, so if you see a repeat page, that's probably why. I just fell in love with this kit. Like, I know that's a repeat because I love that pink on the background. And some of them there might even be, more than one, because I know when I was printing them I had a flub on the one, so I had to reprint. I don't know if you can see or not in the camera, but there's even some like sewing down the side that come through. Oh, and there's the back of that. I love with the text and the pink. That would be good just to use in any kit, like an Easter kit. That would be gorgeous. So I mean, a lot of the background pages, I mean, like this one has Paris at the bottom, but I mean, you could use that into incorporate that into a lot of kits just like this. So, I mean, you could do just, if you didn't want the Paris, you could play with the backgrounds and pull off a whole sort of non-Paris kit. So yeah, and I figure if I have extras, I can always use it to cut up and use in other journals, because I mean, like, that would be pretty. Just a nature kit with the bird and the tree. So I mean, you could definitely make it for more than just a Paris journal. And again, you're going to see some repeats, and I apologize if you're seeing repeats. I guess I should have like sorted them out before, but I didn't, so we're going to sit here and flip through these. But I love how she incorporated so many different colors into the pages. So that was the background pages. And like I said, I did make several copies of those. I like to have a lot of those on hand to use for ephemera, to use for base pages, you know, to be able to tear up and use for collages. So, I mean, I try to have extras of those on hand. Then get into the ephemera of the kit. And again, like I said, I printed like 2 copies of these. So there's triangular pockets. And some of these, again, there may be a repeat. There's some square pockets. And I have already cut mine out, inked around it with, yeah, vintage photo. And scored my things so they're ready to go. So that's a little bit, I mean, just like in the triangular, you know, go ahead and have this scored and ready, and that's one step that's already done and out of the way. Then there's some sort of like library pockets is what they remind me of, but they've got a little label on them, but little envelopes. Or you can cut the flaps off and adhere this to a page, and you've got, you know, a double flip you can use for writing on. So, I mean, there's different uses for those, and we may try to use, you know, both of them in a different way. There's some large square envelopes, and they even have a little stamp on them. They're so cute. And again, you can use these for, you know, you could put this over a page, have it where it flips up and it opens up. Or you can use an envelope, you could cut it apart, you know, and use them as individual pieces. I mean, there's a ton of things that you can do. So I had a couple of those. Like I said, there's 2 of each one. There's another one that's got a pretty label on the front, the stamp, and again, it's the same style envelope. And I did just print, on what I did was just print one of the background papers on the back of my page before I cut it out. And then when I cut it out, I've already got, you know, that pretty design on the inside, so it doesn't look so blank with the white. There is some Rolodex cards. And again, I printed that. And because of the way these come, you know, I printed different pages on the back. So, you know, I did get a variety. So they're not identical. There's some Pacific Company tags. I think there was actually 4 of those. One with the pretty blue, one with the pink. And then again, I've got the backgrounds on the back of those. There's some library cards. And I thought those came out perfect, so I thought those were good. And there's a variety of tags. So get some tags, and again, things on the back. Oops, flipped it across the page. There's some ball jars, which I thought were really cute. There's some, yeah, like guest check tags, which I thought was really cute. There's some blue ones, and like I said, that, you know, those are different. You know, they have, and there was several of those, so I'll also sort of go through those. So you can see those, and they all have different backings, but they are all the backgrounds from the kit. I love that one. The butterflies on it. So, and then the gates. And this is with the Eiffel Tower. So there's quite a few tags there. With you do too, you get a really nice variety of tags. This book is property of identification tags, so those are really cute. There's a couple of frames that we will be using. And like I said, I made, you know, 2 copies of everything, so I have 2. Some butterflies, which I think are just adorable. There's a label. Somewhere there's another label in here. So there's some tickets. Make some, you know, event tickets with a butterfly. The Eiffel Tower, there's another one with the butterfly. So there's, you know, if you make 2 copies, then you get like 6 tickets, which I think is a nice amount to have. There's some of the large circles. There's my other label. So, you know, some of the large circles. These are going to be, I love using these for different things. So, in that, there's some of the, what I call my rectangular tags. And they have, love how she went back in and put the white design over it and changed the opacity. So, I mean, you can still see the background, but it gives you a brighter place to write. So your writing's not hidden among things. Let me grab a drink real fast, guys. Sorry. That's how this goes. One day you're perfectly fine, and the next you can't talk. So, and then there's some whale tail tags. And again, they have the backgrounds on them in case I want to use them for anything. So there's several different whale tail tags. I think there's 6 altogether if you print 2. So I was really happy to have 6 of those. Not to mention, big secret here, but if you print one of these out and trace it around, then you have a template where you can make more. I think sometimes we forget we could use things we get in kits to make templates too, that we can use, you know, maybe with some scrapbook paper we have or whatever. Of course, there's some of her word tags, little word tags. I love those. And they all have the back. There's a journal, create, embrace, notes, France, dreams, romance, Paris, inspire, joy, and then we're on repeats. So 3, 6, 9, 10 little, I think there's 10. I don't think I missed any in here. I think I got them all. So, you know, those are sort of nice because you can really use those to, when you're decorating a page, you know, sometimes, or a tag, you know, just that one little word just sort of adds a little bit to it. Yeah. So there's 10 different word cards, labels, word cards. I'm not sure, whatever you want to call them, but yeah, word tags. I guess to me they're more like word cards. So there's those. There are some just rectangular strips. Which work great for belly bands, you know, that type of thing, or to put on the edges a small tuck. I mean, there's a ton of things you could use them for. So there are some of the large playing cards. 2 bingo cards. And then there are, I mean, and obviously I printed 2 of the kit, so I have 2 of each thing. So if I say there's 2, that means if you only print 1 copy, you're only going to have 1. That's why I printed 2, because I like to have a couple. And then some of the 1915 calendars. So that is the kit. And then some of the things I'm going to be using, and, you know, I've just pulled a variety of some things. I have some sort of like scrap cut off papers left over from projects that I've did or that I've worked on. So I've tried to pull things that are in that color. So I have some vellum, and I don't know if you can see that too much on there, that I ran through an embosser and with the embossing plate. So I have that. Of course, there's a pink and white striped page, which I thought would go. Actually, I have this, was a scrap piece. You can tell I got a whole lot of it, but I thought I might be able to use that as a pocket, maybe, as a floating pocket, and I've just sort of ran it through the embosser. So some things are embossed, some things aren't. There's just a really light sort of tan colored, and there's some brown, some darker brown. Of course, it wouldn't quite be Paris if you didn't have some flashy gold. There's some pink, and I sort of like the pink polka dots. There's some glittery, and it's cream and gold on the back and yellow on the front, which I thought sort of went with some of the bright yellow in that kit to sort of draw it out. And this is a thicker page, so I thought that might be different to have different textures. There's some gold and cream marble and cream on the back. Of course, we have some black, and I'll tell you where I got this. If you go to, let me think where I was at, Myers. They have, you can buy scrap pack. Well, at least they used to. I don't know if they do now. You could buy scrap packs of just various types of like specialty papers, and that's where most of these came from. There's some vellum. See, look at that vellum, looks so pretty over top of that. Then these are just some 6x6 scrapbook pages that I had that I thought might sort of go just in various colors, just to have on hand if I wanted to pull them to use. I thought these were pretty cool. They've sort of got music in the background of the circles. And you can tell some of these are older. So there's that pink and white stripe. There's a real pretty blue, and it's that heavyweight board. And then there's just some cream embossed paper. I don't know if you can tell the texture on that or not. Hopefully you can in the thing. So there's just some scrap pages I've pulled out just to have for tags, to use on tags, for collages, that sort of thing. Then I was at my Dollar Tree, and our Dollar Tree has expanded quite a bit. Let me get a drink, guys. Sorry. Has expanded quite a bit, so they're adding a lot more craft supplies. We have like a craft aisle now versus a little bitty section. So I picked up these stickers, and I thought, well, with the butterflies and some of the different things, it might go in there really well. So that was one of the stickers I picked up, and yeah, these art stickers, they're rub-ons that actually came from my Dollar Tree, and was quite impressed with them. And then let me get this coffee dye paper, and then they had these stickers, Explore the World, Travel, which sort of, but I love the fact it had an Eiffel Tower and a top hat. There's a little Paris thing, adventures, and I mean all these colors are in the kit that we have, so I thought that went with it well. So I mean, and for $1, and these are actual stickers. I mean, check out the little suitcase, super cute. Then I've got my tea dyed paper, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 17. 27 of my tea dye pages. This will be 3 signatures, 9 coffee dyed pages, along with the base pages that we have. So that gives you sort of a figure of about where we're going to be. So I would say if you had 30, I mean, I have extras of my coffee dyed paper, put back, that if I need it, I can grab it. So I would say if you have 30 coffee dyed pages, you'll be doing good. And I mean, they go from darker to lighter. I actually think these are tea dyed. Sorry, they're not coffee, they're tea dyed. But you can do tea or coffee, whichever one that you prefer. I used to do all coffee, and of late I've started doing tea more because I like the effect. I think it looks better. Coffee is, some of it's darker for some of the projects I want to do, so if I do tea, it's more neutral. So about 30 of those. Then I have some of my blue, and these are in I think that's actually a green. That page is a green. Sorry, guys. Let me pull it out. Okay. So, there's another green. I have these all laying there together, so let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I have 12 turquoise pages because there's so much sort of turquoise through that kit. And this blue, let me pull out one of the kit pages real fast. I'll pull out a couple actually because the blues vary. So, like with this page, it just goes really well. But even with the darker pages, it blends in. So, you know, definitely have these. And these are Rit dyed. I use my page. I'm going to dunk my pages in. And I put about 2 tablespoons of the turquoise blue Rit dye. And, you know, it comes out really, really good. So, there's that. I have some dyed, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. I love when you can't remember something. And it, you know, since I've been sick, it seems like sometimes it just doesn't click. Ledger pages, it takes me a little bit to get it. And I apologize if I sort of have that, you know, pause while I'm trying to figure something out. It just seems to be one of the effects of this. And I have 3 fold here, but I do have more of this. And it is dyed also, tea dyed, and there's darker spots and lighter spots. I just like sort of the worn look, and I loved the fact it had this blue in it that sort of incorporates into the color. Of course, and I don't have any specific amount of these. I just have them on hand to use as I need. There's some vintage sheet music, some vintage 3rd-year readers. Let's see. There's just some, these are just scrap papers left over. There's some herbal pages with, you know, because we do have some floral butterfly type pages, so I thought some little pages like that would be cute. An eclectic 5th reader, just because I love using, you know, the old vintage pages like that, so I thought that would be cute to add in there. Of course, I only have 1 out, but I have more of my 1921 Paris book that I have, which will be perfect to include in here. I dyed the whole entire book, but this is what I fold to use for this because it's more geometrical. It sort of, I think, goes to me more with like the Eiffel Tower, sort of has that geometric look to it. So this is what I pulled. This was actually from a Celtic book of the colored pages that I picked up at the Goodwill for like 99 cents. And I've dyed them, so they're coffee dyed, so they will just, A, it'll add design. B, you know, if you're journaling and you know, like me, when I talk on the phone, I doodle. So if I have like a note, I have a notebook usually if I'm talking on the phone. Like if mom calls, I'm talking to mom, I have a notebook sitting there and I'm doodling. You know, my whole page will be full by the time we get off the phone, because sometimes we'll talk for, you know, an hour or 2 hours, sometimes even 3 hours we've talked. So, you know, at one session, and which is really bad because she doesn't live that far away from me, but we'll talk forever. Which is hilarious because when we were teenagers, you never would have thought that I would talk that we would talk like that. But you know, it's amazing when you become an adult, you know, the whole dynamics of a mother-daughter relationship changes. So it's pretty crazy. But so I've tea-dyed these and pulled these just to use, and their other design. And I mean, I could rip these up and use these. Would look great on a collage or a tag, you know, or, you know, whatever. And, you know, I've got the clear back sides, which is sort of nice for journaling. So, I mean, you know, if you want to do like tip-ins, things like that, these are good base pages because you can put a lot of stuff over. I mean, you could put that on there, you know, put some pages, put a little word on there, and you've got a tip-in with a clear back you can write on, but, you know, put some lace along the edges. Tons of stuff you can do with it. I also have a European atlas that I picked up, and this is sort of hilarious because this is old. It's so old the maps are outdated. And it is from, let's see, XXX, 87, 1987. So I'm going to use, like, obviously the France pages out of it, but one of the coolest things about this map is these pages are almost like plastic. They're paper, but they're coated, so they're more like a plastic. Well, I mean, you can hear it's real weird, and I mean, so I'm excited to use some of those. So, and you know, the colors, they have the green. I mean, I don't care so much for the red, but you know, the blues, the yellow, the green colors, I think it'll blend in pretty well, especially when you get to where, you know, you're talking about France and there's a lot of water, so there's gonna be a lot of blue. I thought that would just sort of add a little bit more color, you know. And we're gonna be using some transparency pages, along with whatever else that I can gather together to use. We're gonna be using some stencils, some stamps, lace, some fabric that blends, you know, like some vintage fabric. I was lucky enough to be at my Goodwill and find 3 vintage fabric sample books that are like, you know, every bit of 3 inches deep. So I have those to use. And, you know, so we have quite a bit of things that are going to go into this. Like I said, we're going to do some, you know, different things this time. So hopefully you'll maybe, you know, not see something new. I mean, hopefully you'll see something new and, you know, learn something. I mean, but like, I'm really good to say, you know, there is no new thing under the sun. So, you know, sort of hard to find, but I'm looking forward to using Junk with Steph's kit. I always enjoy using her kits. Again, it's www.junkwithsteph. Nope, that's wrong. She has an Etsy store. I will put the link in the description box. I was thinking that she had an actual website, but she doesn't. It's through an Etsy store. So I will get that in there and we will put this in here. I'm super excited to get going on this. So we will be back. I don't do videos Friday, Saturday, and Sunday usually unless I do sales on Saturday. We're not doing a sale this Saturday because it's Easter. I'm going to try to do a sale the following Saturday. So, you know, we will be here 8 o'clock at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Not this Saturday, the weekend of Easter, but the following Saturday, and we will be having a sale. We're actually in the process of that we're going to be trying to move. So I have got stuff that has got to go, and I forgot to pull out one thing I wanted to pull out. Give me just a second. I forgot I wanted to pull some of these out. I was at my anyway, so I'll be doing a sale, and we will be back on Monday. This is Easter weekend, so we have some things we're going to be doing here at my house. So along with this kit, I want to add, and I haven't pulled out specific ones yet because I think I sort of base it. It's going to depend on what the page looks like, depending on which one I use. But I did buy one of the Becky Higgins Project Life card sets. There's 616 journaling cards in this box for $5.99 at my Tuesday mornings. And I'll just flip through some of these. So if you get a chance to get your hands on some of these, it is worth it, you guys. I actually wish that I would have bought more than one, because the colors, when I got home and started looking, the colors were just amazing in this kit. And so like there's Explore, you know, and there'll be 2 or 3 of that card. So I mean, there's just quoted. I mean, and those go in with just about anything. Heart and Soul, Say Yes, bucket list cards. I mean, those are just perfect. And I mean, there's different styles all throughout. You know, some of them, there's some pink ones. you know, I mean, there's just a ton. Then there's, you know, and there's a bunch of these smaller ones documented. There are some full page ones that are, you know, you use for the pocket things, but I don't. In my heart, love unconditionally, about me. So, I mean, there's a ton of those, and there's 4 sections of that size. And then there's one section of It's a Beautiful Day. I mean, there's just, and these just happen to go like right along with the kit. So, sort of excited about that. Because, I mean, that's even that yellowish tone that we have. And, of course, there's the blue with the yellow bird. So, I mean, I think we'll be able to, I mean, those just go along with that whole coloring of that kit. So, I think we'll be able to use, and those even have the dandelion that, sort of the whole dandelion theme that you had. And, of course, all of these are doubled. Well, that's a placement card, but these are all one big, huge. The ones that have these on the back are actually ones that you piece together in one of the 12 by one of the Project Life pre-made pocket pages that you can slide in, which, I mean, the ones like this, I either back with coffee dyed paper, or I can, you know, use for collages or pockets. I mean, you can glue that down and have a really nice pocket. So, and with the dandelions and stuff like that, that's probably what I'll do with those. I mean, because they sort of blend in really well. And if there's something like, say, let me find an example. Something like this, but, you know, this would have connected with this and 2 separate pockets to sort of create a collage of tags. So instead of it saying life, if I don't want this on there, I can cut this down around the corner, and I just have a square or card. So, I mean, you can make these, you know, do what you want to do, if that makes sense. I mean, you just manipulate them to however you would like. So, yeah, so I'm going to be using some of those. I meant to pull those out to show you guys. You can see those. And like I said, it was $5.99. There's 600 cards there. You know, if I only use 40 of the cards, there, I may be, because there is like 3, there are 3, some of them there's 3 to 5 copies of it. So I may be, you know, selling some of those, because I know, I think I got it turned sideways or something. Something's not going in there right. I don't think that was right. Yeah, I think I just got hung up in there on something. Oh yeah, it did on the back. You know, so I may be selling off some of the extras because I don't like to use a massive amount of things the same. You know, within different projects, I like to change it up a little bit after all that scritching and scratching to get that box closed. Yeah, so we have quite a few things we're going to be using in this journal. Some punches, some stamps, all kinds of things. So, but I did want to go over the pages and sort of, you know, the basics of, you know, what comes in the kit, so you can see the coloring and all of that. So yeah, definitely a kit I'm glad that I've added it in my arsenal. So I will see you guys again Monday, and we will actually get our hands dirty Monday. So get prepared, get your stuff together, and I will see you Monday. That gives you the weekend. I know it's holidays, so people are busy doing things. So especially, you know, now that people can actually get out and see family members and stuff, it makes it a lot nicer. You know, get your stuff cut and inked and ready to go, and we'll be back here Monday putting it all together. So we will see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. If you don't, just happy weekend and have a great day. We'll see you Monday. Bye, guys.